Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the How to Get Rich on Roblox series. Thank you all for showing up, and if you haven't seen the intro video, make sure you go back and watch that so you know what's going on. Now, to elaborate on what was said on the first video, the only way to get rich on Roblox without putting any real money into it is by developing. You can do this in two ways. First, you can make a game, or you can use your dev skills to get clients and sell them buildings or scripts. In this series, we will help you in the second mode, which is by selling your models and scripts to other people. In this video, we're going to learn the basics of building so you can get better and start selling your models. First things first, one thing I'd recommend you getting once you open Studio is Building Tools by F3X. It basically makes it a bit easier to build. You can get this by going to the Plugins tab up here, Manage Plugins, Find Plugins, and it should be right here on the first page. Once you get that, you can open it up and make new blocks with this button over here that looks like a cross. So the first thing we need to know about is the regular normal block. It looks like this right here. And most of the things that you build are going to be using a lot of these, but sometimes they won't. Like, for example, this over here used a lot of cylinders. This is what we're going to be making at the end of this tutorial. The other commonly used blocks are cylinders and spheres. Now, if you see weird blocks whenever you're asked to build things, like these here, they can be made with unions. Unions are basically cutting out sections of other blocks with different shapes. So to make this one right here, what you would do is you take this, then you'd want to duplicate it and rotate it. You can move it around to get whatever shape you're trying to achieve. Once you've done that, select which blocks you're trying to use to cut out. Go to Model and press this over here that says Negate. They will turn a pink transparent color. After they are this color, you want to select all the blocks and hit Union. Then it's going to give you a shape that was cut out. These blocks over here were made the same way. If you go over here and press Separate, you can see which blocks were used to make up these. This was made with a sphere and a rectangle. This one over here was made with two separate cylinders. This one right here might be a little bit tricky because it's a curve. So what you want to do is use a normal block, then get a cylinder, and you're going to put normal blocks near the cylinder and try to line it up as best as you can with the edges. Once you've done that, you're going to do the same process again of negating them, selecting all of them, and unioning. So now we're going to use all of those to make this flower pot over here. First, we're going to start with the base, which is just cylinders. One thing about unions is that you can union multiple things at one time, which saves a lot of time and lets you create more diverse shapes. As you can see, I just cut a hole through both of the cylinders. Now that we've done that, we're going to use another cylinder for the dirt. This gear icon over here lets you change the material. As you can see, the dirt looks a bit different than the regular plastic. You can go over here and hit grass. It will change to this. And you can use the paint tool to change the color. Now we're going to make the stem and leaves of the flower. Now the leaf is going to require a little bit more work than the rest of this because it's going to use the most negates. So what we're going to do is get a regular cylinder, move it over here and flatten it, and make it a bit bigger. Then we're just going to use normal parts to cut out the shape that we want. Just like last time, we see the shape that we want in the center. So we're going to take all the blocks and negate them. Then we're going to union, and we have our shape left here. One thing that F3X makes easier is rotating a object around a circle. So what we're going to do this is duplicate it, flip it over, move it to the other side of this cylinder here. Then we're going to grab both of them, duplicate them, and use the rotate tool while it's selected on center to just rotate it around the circle. Once you're done positioning everything, it's basically a matter of recoloring what needs to be recolored and moving things into their final position. We're going to also use these petals up here to make the leaves at the bottom. Alright, so in this video we've basically shown you how to use the basic tools and how to use unions and put them together to make different types of shapes. In the next tutorial we're going to be using these more in depth to work on an actual client and show you how that process works. Thank you for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe so you can see the next video.